Welcome to Level 5, Responsibility and Self-Worth. Are you the one who is responsible to take action, or is somebody else supposed to do it? If you believe it is somebody else's responsibility, then you might wait for a very long time and you don't have the control in your own hands. Self-worth is about whether you deserve to reach your goal. Logically, you may say immediately, yes, of course I deserve it. But subconsciously, surprisingly, there are often blockages that may prevent you from reaching your goal. 70% of women say that I'm open for a relationship, but I'm not actively searching for anyone. If you agree with this, notice there is a complete lack of action, and actually you might not be really ready, because if you're missing the action and courage, then there is still something missing. 60% of women say that I want to have a relationship, but I want it to happen naturally without doing anything. Think about it. If you never go out, except for with your married friends, you don't use the online dating because you don't want to get hurt. You don't go to the singles events because you don't feel comfortable talking to people. And you just sit at home and hope that you're still going to meet your Mr. Right. It is quite unlikely. So the responsibility and action, they go hand in hand. And they're really needed even in things like looking for a partner. Self-worth and lack of it is connected to self-defeating patterns. 40% of women agree with this statement. Others come before me. If you also feel like everybody else is more important in your life than you, and you first have to do things for everybody else, this can be contributing to the fact why you haven't found the relationship that you want yet. Half of the women say, I need to deserve it before anything good can come to your life. If you relate to this, you might try to prove yourself constantly and do a lot for others in order to have that deserving feeling. But no matter how much you do for others, you still actually don't feel like you really deserve it. It is more about working with the subconscious blockages that cause that non-deserving feeling. 40% of women say, I don't deserve it because of something I have or haven't done. Do you also feel guilty and punish yourself for something you haven't done quite right? Or maybe it is related to some childhood imprint that's so old you don't even remember anymore what is it that you have or haven't done. It's just that non-deserving feeling is now sabotaging your efforts in meeting the kind of man that you want. Maybe you doubt yourself that the kind of man that you like would not reply to you, would not be interested in you, because in a way you don't deserve it. So just be aware that this is a self-sabotaging pattern. It's not a fact that you actually don't deserve it. 40% of women agree with this. I don't belong here. I have a hard time to find my place. This can be related to lack of your expression if you feel like you would get rejected if you were yourself. It can also be connected to doing a lot for others. If you feel obliged, you have to do a lot for them, but you're not receiving back what you would like. So in the end, that makes you feel like nobody's backing you up, and that makes you feel very lonely and disconnected from the rest. Potentially, it can be related to lack of action. If you're staying on the side and waiting that people have to approach you first, then you might wait a long time and until then you're still feeling somehow unincluded, well, maybe just a bit of action from your side, reaching out to others, can solve this problem. Moving to your action points. Open your workbook and put a check mark next to each point that is relevant for you. We have 2 points. I want to have my goal in my control. I am the one who is responsible to take the action. I can have support from others, but nobody else is gonna get it done instead of me. Second point. I want to feel good about myself. I want to be proud and feeling like I deserve to reach my goal. I need to strengthen my inner identity, my inner security, and I have to practice the concept of self-love by removing the hidden shame and guilt. Why do I say hidden shame and guilt? Because most of the time we're not even aware that we have some shame and guilt from the early childhood experiences, but this is what is impacting us and causing a lot of self-sabotaging patterns. So if you have heard of self-love before but didn't know how to get started, a good place is to start removing that shame and guilt and all those self-sabotaging patterns attached to that. We have now concluded the level 5. In the last part of the course, I'm going to share with you some resources that can be useful in starting to take action